What's good, y'all? It's your boy Sean Peter Blumph guy. Hey, that was a lot better. That intro was better than what I think yesterday's. Yesterday's I think I kind of butchered that one. I ain't gonna hold you guys. I think it was yesterday. Might have been Tuesday. It was one of the two, right? One of the two. But anyway, y'all know what it is today. Y'all know what it is. If you read the title to this video or even just seen the thumbnail, you guys know we are about to get into some Berserk. Today we will be reading chapter 2, right? So yeah, last time we read chapter 1, right? It was like 90 something pages. So we only read one chapter. You know what I mean? I think what somebody told me, somebody in Discord, the One Piece Discord, but I'm about to rename my Discord to something different. So it's just not exclusively just the One Piece fans and everything, right? But somebody told me that that the first, I guess the first, I don't know, like a couple of the early chapters are pretty long, right? But then later, I guess when we get into the later chapters, there'll be more like other weekly chapters that you get in other mangas, right? Where you might get much shorter chapters, maybe 20, 30 pages, depending on the series. But yeah, so today we'll probably just be reading chapter 2. You know, if we get through chapter 2, maybe we'll go to chapter 3 as well, right? I don't know how long. If chapter 3 is just as long as chapter 2, I don't know if we'll be able to get to chapter 3. But yeah, so but before I get into it, before we get into this chapter, first let me say, make sure you guys hit that like button. Also, subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Twitch. Make sure you follow me on Twitch. Make sure, especially if you want to keep catching these live streams, follow me on Twitch because I will be switching over. As far as when it comes to doing live streams, I will be doing it on Twitch. I think Twitch might be kind of a better platform to actually stream on, but I still will be posting content here on the YouTube channel for you guys who can't catch streams because, you know, maybe the timing of the day is off for you. You know, you may work or whatever, or maybe the streams may be too long, right? Maybe 1, 2, 3 hours isn't really your cup of tea of watching, sitting there dedicating that much time to watching a full stream, right? YouTube will give you condensed versions. It will be more edited and condensed versions of my streams that I'll be doing on Twitch. All right, so make sure you follow me on Twitch. Also, I stream Elden Ring, so if any of you guys Elden Ring fans, or you guys just like, you just want to chat with me as I play Elden Ring, Chivalry 2. I also play Chivalry 2. I'll be streaming there. And yeah, but all my live streams, whether they're One Piece, whether they're Berserk read-throughs, or any other manga read-throughs, or the tier streams, which we will be doing a tier list this Sunday. For all my One Piece followers, we will be doing a tier list. We will be ranking the best backstories, or all the One Piece backstories. We will be putting them in tiers. So make sure you catch that stream on Sunday. I want to do a Wano arc tier as well, like, best chapters and all that, but I'm kind of waiting for the actual arc to fully finish, because I don't want to put some arcs and then we get like some fire chapters coming up, right? Like when we get back from this hiatus, and then it's like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't put them on the tier list because I did the tier list too easy or too early, right? So that's that. Tomorrow I will be streaming on Twitch. We will be playing some Elden Ring and Chivalry probably as well. So yes, make sure you follow me on Twitch. But anyway, without further ado, let's get into Berserk chapter 2. Sorry, y'all. Just burping. All right, so we're pretty much continuing from chapter 1, or this chapter pretty much continues from chapter 1. Gotta fix my Fix my yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. Looking a little rough today, but anyway, let's get into the chapter. Berserk chapter 2 or B0, depending on what stream, what I don't know what manga thing you guys use, but what I'm using it's B0. Okay. So last time he pretty much guts fought the Snake Lord or whatever. I don't know if that's his name, but that's what people was telling me to call him, or that's what they call him. So that's pretty much what somebody suggested me to call him. So I'm going by the Snake Lord. He fought that guy. We kind of learned he was one of the apostles, I guess. And then you got, I guess, even higher than the apostles, you have the God Hand or whatever, God Hand, which are, I'm assuming they're like higher tier monsters than the apostles. That's what I'm assuming, but I don't know. You know, that's something we'll probably learn more much later, right? And another thing, if this stream cuts out, because I know my internet been kind of acting a little wonky, I will be continuing with another stream. So you guys might have to give me like a few minutes after it cuts out, and then we'll be back. All that jazz, right? All that jazz. Sorry, I have to do it. Some I might have to do. You know, it's not something I necessarily could help. So I apologize in advance, right? I apologize in advance. Anyway, let's get to it. All right, so chapter 2. So we see Guts, right? And we see a voice saying, "You cannot escape us," right? And he's kind of like this dark forest. And going down a little bit, we kind of see these little silhouettes of some creatures kind of looking down on him. They're up in the trees or whatever, right? And you know, Guts is still injured. And they say you cannot escape. And we see one of them, you know, kind of open his mouth. He looked like a little worm with big fangs almost. All right, next page. So we get kind of a little cover page. And it says the brand, right? And this is page 96. This is the page number that I'm seeing. And Guts is kind of looking with his one he's looking over his shoulder with his one eye, right? With his one eye. And you see all these little demonic worm looking things, aliens, I'm not sure what they are. They're all kind of all charging at Guts, and Guts pretty much clutches at his sword. Next page. We get kind of a view of the mountain, right? And then we get like this silhouette of this white silhouette of a dove or a bird. I don't know if it's a dove, but it's of a bird, right? Going down, we get a image of Puck, who's, I guess he's riding on this bird. Kind of does look like a dove though. Kind of does. And so I guess Puck has this ability to communicate with animals, because the bird kind of drops him off on a branch, and Puck says, "Thanks, mister." So Puck's able to talk to animals, what it looks like. And all right, so we're on the next page, which is I don't know the page number. Puck says, "That's funny. I was sure he was going in this direction. How could I lose him if this is the only path? Oh well, maybe wolves ate him or something." Right? And then something kind of shakes the tree and he falls off and lands straight on the ground, right next to what I would assume is Guts' prosthetic arm, right? And you see a dot. And Puck gets up and he sees Guts clutching at his arm, like the actual meat part of his arm, right? Not the prosthetic arm, but the actual arm. So yeah, Guts is still pretty injured, right? Guts is still pretty injured, but he still has to fight these demonic forces or whatever. All right, Guts gets up, clutching at his arm, and Puck says, "Guts." Guts says, "You again." Puck says, "Hey, how you doing?" And Guts is looking down at him. Next page. Puck says, "What happened to you? Did wolves attack you?" Uh-oh. Those wounds from behind are opening up again. Guts just looks. For some reason, every time we meet, you're all torn up. Want me to heal you again? And Guts like grabs his little wing and he says, "Hey, Bug, what are you doing here?" He says, "The name's Puck. Try not to forget it." That's how I'm gonna talk. Try not to forget it. He's like grabbing him by his, holding him by his wing, and Puck says, "It's interesting, all this monster stuff." Or no, hold on. He says, "Well, the thing is, it's interesting, all this monster stuff. It's the kind of thing you only hear about in myths or epic poems, but you're it, the real deal." And Gut says, "Is this more of that elven sense of duty?" So that was chapter 101. We go to chapter 10 or page 102, and he says, "Nah, I figured if I had hung around you, I'd get to see all sorts of neat things." And then Guts just looks at him. Then he throws him into like a puddle of water. He said, "What you do that for?" Puck says. And then Guts says, "Sorry, but I'm in no mood to keep any pets." And Puck says, "Who said I wanted to be your pet?" Gus says, "And one more thing." Puck looks at him. Gus says, "I don't like elves, and I don't like you." And he just looks at him with like this little dotted background. Next page. Puck says, but why?" And then Gus says, "Because you're weak." Puck just looks. And Gus says, "It pisses me off when I see weaklings. I feel like I want to crush them." Yo, Gus is kind of like antagonistic. Like, just kind of looking at it, Gus is kind of an asshole. Let's be real. Gus is a bit of an asshole. But I like it. I ain't gonna lie. I like the assholeness. It's not a complaint. I'm just in comparison to a lot of other protagonists like manga and anime protagonists, Gus is a bit of an asshole, and he got kind of a warped sense to, he's not like what you would say is a good guy, right? He's not a good guy. But I like that though, because the world ain't always necessarily black and white, right? Like, it ain't always good and evil, Sometimes good people could do bad things, and sometimes bad people could do good things. So, it's a lot of gray area, right? So with Guts, to me, Guts is more realistic. Guts is more realistic, and I like that. I don't like the goody two shoe characters all the time that's just always morally right. You know what I mean? It's just not realistic. Especially in the type of world that Guts seems to live in, right? Where people just die so easily, and that's no knock on other series, because that's fine, but that's a good thing about that. That's one good thing I'm seeing about this series. It's a lot more realistic. Like some of the ideologies seem like they may be more realistic. All right, so Gut says, "It pisses me off when I see weaklings. I feel like I want to crush them." And then Gus says, "They can't do a thing on their own. All they ever do is talk and buzz around people like flies. Make me want to squash them." And then Puck is just looking sad. I mean, hey, I ain't even gonna lie though, man. Puck is like a type of character that he's the type of thing I would want to keep around, because seeing how Gus is always getting into these fights, right? and always getting injured, you got this little thing that can help you, right? He can help you. He can heal you, you know. But seeing kind of Guts' personality, I don't think he really cares. He likes to stand on his own 2 feet, regardless if he's hurt or what, you know. But yeah, all right. So next page, that was 103. We're on 104 right now. Guts walks away, but he's looking back with kind of a smirk, though, right? He's kind of like smirking. And Puck says, "You bastard!" And you see a dot. Shout out to Adam. I don't know if you commented or deleted your comment, because I see your comment on like my Streamlabs screen, like on the stream, but I don't see it in the actual chat room. So I don't know if you deleted it or what. But you said he is a bit of an asshole. Yeah, he does seem like a bit of an asshole. So I'm assuming Guts pretty much killed those other demons because they're nowhere to be seen. All right, so we get a view of the sky, and it kind of look like a meteor, kind of like a meteor falling, but that might just be like a cloud, or it might be like, I'm not sure if that's like the mountains in the distance, but it's kind of dark behind. I'm not too sure what that is. Next page. Sorry, so Guts is like walking in the rain. He throws on like a, you know, kind of a throw over, kind of like a hood to a degree. Keep himself dry, and he's walking. It's raining. We see a cart, like a cart and buggy, riding behind Guts. And the driver of the cart says, "Need a ride? The rain's pretty heavy." And then next page, Guts says, "Nope, leave me be." Bro, I like Guts, man. Guts don't want nobody help. He don't care about none of that. He don't care about none of that. He like, whatever. Yeah. Dude said, "It's no trouble. There's more than enough room for another person in here." And Guts says, "Sorry, I'm no good with priests." And he says, "Ha ha. Better than catching the cold, though, yes." And Guts, he just kind of looks, and he says, "I'm telling you this for your own good." And then the priest looks. So that was just page 106. Adam says, "I accidentally closed the window, so it might have taken it off for that or something." Yeah, I don't know. I'm getting one comment. Like I see one. That's the only comment that I see in my Streamlabs. But I don't. I see you. It's showing me 3, like on the stream, like on the screen of the stream. It's showing me you posted 3 comments, but I'm only seeing one of them, and that's it was accident, or you closed your window or whatever. So I don't know what's going on, if that's on my end. So maybe I might miss some comments, guys. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'll try to look at the actual stream video, the actual video, because my Streamlabs ain't really showing anything. But let's continue. All right, so we're on page 107. Gut says, "I'm being pursued by evil spirits, a legion of them." And then the priest gets all wide-eyed. He's like, "What?" And he laughs. He said, "Wah ha ha ha. That's quite an affliction. But don't worry, my friend. I have God on my side. Not to mention a lucky spirit." And then Gut say, "Spirit?" And then we see what looks to be like a little girl. I don't know if it's a little girl or a feminine looking boy. Page 108, next page. And then Gus says ... And he says, "Come on, get on, get on." And he says, Guts says, why? Or, well, why not? What do I care if something happens to them? I mean, hey, bro, he warned the priest. He warned him. So, you know, can't say he didn't warn him, right? And we get a shot where we see the line of the trees and we see a bunch of eyes just kind of glaring at Guts. And Guts says, he opens the little carriage cloth and he says, ow. Next page. So we get a shot of the carriage riding through the countryside along the path. And Guts is in the back of it, where we also see Puck sitting on a barrel. Gus says, Puck says, I was here first, so you got no right to complain this time. And Gus is looking at him and says, Puck says, what? Or no, yeah, so, okay, that was after the what, all right? That was after the what. So, next page 110. Puck, like, he has, like, some cloth over him, and he falls over. And the girl in the carriage says, towards Guts, and she says, have some if you like. It's homemade wine. It'll warm you up. So she gives him some wine. Guts drinks it. And Puck says, oh, me too. And then Guts throws the little bag of wine over Puck. And she asks Guts, or next page, and the girl asks Guts, those awful wounds, what happened? Guts says, like I said, evil spirits are after me. And she says, that can't be true, can it? The priest says, hey, don't frighten my daughter too much. By the way, is that sort of some sword? Bro, that dude got a huge sword, bro. If y'all ever watch me play Chivalry, that's like how big the sword that I use in Chivalry. I mean, I can't swing it like Guts, but still pretty big though, right? Maybe a little smaller than Guts' sword. And then we get a shot of Guts with his sword behind him. And then next page, Guts said, nah, I use it for my cooking. And then the guy says, the priest says, it looks like you could cut a sword in half with that thing. Why not just open up a roadside grill? You can earn a better living that way, you bum. Is that what? I think Puck says that. Puck says that. I thought the old guy said that. And the old guy says, by the looks of it, you appear to be a mercenary. Is that what you are? And Guts says, well, something like that. And the priest says, I don't have much respect for that profession. Killing other people for a living. Live by the sword, die by the sword. And Guts says, that's why I don't like priests. And he says, please don't say that. How you gonna tell the man, like, hey man, I don't like your kind, and then he pretty much says, well, I don't like your kind either. And he's like, hey man, I'm offended. Don't say such things. Don't say such things. Well, bro, you started it, man. You started it. Next page 113. The priest says, my nephew also chose to live by the sword and left home as soon as he could. 5 years ago, he lost his life on a battlefield, just some lowly soldiers with no name. If he were alive today, he'd probably have his own family by now. He could have enjoyed the simple treasures of life. How foolish of him. And then Guts just kind of stares off and he says, "What's wrong with that?" And everybody just kind of looks at Guts. It's kind of funny he's on the opposite end of the carriage of like, them. Because, he got kind of he got like a vastly different way of life and belief system than all three of them. So, it kind of shows his lone wolfness and, how he's just so vastly different from him. All right, next page 114. Gut says he died doing what he wanted, no matter what, right? Or he died doing what he wanted, no matter what, right? He says, I bet he was happy. Puck looks. And he says, of course, once he died, that's it. Nothing comes after that. Nothing at all. And then Puck continues to look. Next page. Gut says, well, I'm going to try to get a little sleep now. And the girl in the carriage puts a little blanket over him. And, she feeling my man Guts. She feeling my man Guts. She want Guts to be in her guts. That's all I'm going to say. That's as explicit as I'm going to get right there. She says, you could catch a cold. He just kind of looks at her and then falls asleep. Next page, we're on page 116. She's kind of watching, bro. She feeling my man Guts, man. She feeling him. And she's just looking at him, smiling, and say, he. And she's kind of looking at Puck, though, while she says, Puck says, what? Why are you looking at me? Can't help but smile. Tee. And so we see Guts sleeping, right? And like there's water dripping through the carriage. And it's like a water drop. It drips, it falls right before it hits the hold on, I'm confused. Did it like drop and then go back up? It kind of like went back up, because then it kind of turns into an eye, right? All right, next page, we're on page 117. So we looks what it looks like Guts is in some type of dream world, right? And we see the eye looking down on Guts in what looks to be a dream world, as Guts is like walking through what looks to be a brick alley. Like he's walking naked in a brick alley where like the floor is like a shallow body of water, Next page, we're on page 118. Guts is leaning on the wall. Like he's exhausted, right? And he's kind of looking up the alley, right? Like looking at the sky of this alley. And he looks back. Like maybe he senses something behind him. Next page 119. All right. So we kind of get a shot of this alley, right? And then we get we see Guts looking down the alley, naked and everything, and he like grabs his neck and says, "Ugh," right where his brand is, that branding is, and we see the brand actually bleeding. And he continues to walk down this alley as he's like holding on to the wall. And a voice says, you cannot run from us. Guts looks in shock, right? Like, what's going on? And said, the next page, page 120, Gus says, ugh. His foot is stepping on like a spear, right? The head of a spear, you know. And he looks in shock, you know, like, what's going on? He looks to his left and, you know, or we see a shot where it's like a dark space in the water, and he looks to the left. And then he looks down and tries to pull his foot off of the spikes. Next page, page 121. He says, Gus says, ah. All right, so then we kind of see the shadow of we see like the silhouette of a shadow, right? And we see this little four-legged creature coming down this alley towards Guts. And Guts is holding his arm, and he looks up at his arm, and all he sees is his nub. He don't like his prosthetic arm is gone, right? And they say, you cannot run. Guts looks in shock. All right, next page, page 122. That little monster gets closer, and all we see is it's this blobby looking creature with one eye, right? The what would probably be his other eye looks closed, and he's like right next to Guts, you know, still kind of in the shadow though. Guts scream, oh! Now the thing looks a lot smaller though, right? The thing looks a little smaller, and he tries to it looks like we're back in the normal world, right? Looks like we're in the normal world. And the thing is attacking Guts. It's like attacking him. And it's like going for his face. You know, trying to, I don't know what it's trying to do. Trying to like attach to Guts' face or something. And then Guts pulls out a knife on the side. And then he like, no, matter of fact, Guts pulled out the knife a lot earlier and was stabbing the thing, but it still continued to attack him. And then he stabs him and finally kills him. And then he throws the little monster looking thingy onto like the little wand barrel right next to Puck. And then Puck wakes up with the tentacle like leaning right on him, and Puck says, "Huh?" And he questions, and it says Slither, right? And then Puck shoots up and bounces around the carriage, and like he looks at the monster in his eye, and then he shoots up and bounces around the carriage, and then the girl says, "Hey, what happened?" Like as she consoles Puck, and then they both look on the barrel and they see this little monster creature, and the priest says, "What is that thing?" Next page. Guts says, "It's an incubus. They're evil spirits that give people nightmares and feed off their fear." It says, "They won't even give me time to sleep." And the priest says, "Evil spirits, you mean what you said before was true?" And Guts says, "You're saying you believe in God but not in evil spirits," right? Like, how do you not believe in evil spirits? Puck says, "Why? Why did it come after you?" And then Gus says, "Because of this. This thing summons them." he points at his he points at the branding on his neck. Puck says, "The brand does?" And then Guts kind of clutches his neck in pain, and then pulls his hand to show like there's some blood on his hand. Next page. All right, so Guts leaves the carriage, and right now they're kind of in the middle of the woods, and he says, "What the? Stay inside." That's what the priest says. And Gus says, "Incubi are born of the mixed blood and sexual fluids of those who died, filled with hatred and malice." And he says, "Which means that somewhere around here, there must be some corpses of bandits or the like who died violently." And right now we're on page 127. But before I go to the next page, make sure you guys hit that like button. But so I'm starting to kind of get a little more understanding of the story, some more context, right? So that branding he has, it summons these demons or these evil spirits, right? And so that when you think about it, that's pretty sad right there, because it's like the man will never have a normal life, how it seems, because there will always be demon spirits coming after him. Like, what kind of life is that, bro? What kind of life is it to live to always be having to fight off evil spirits and not being able to even rest? Like, the man can't even sleep. He can't even sleep for freaking a period of time without something attacking him, bruh. That's a scary life to live right there. All right, next page, chapter 128, page 128. All right, so Gus says, "Corpses that the demons will possess and use to attack." The little girl in Puck looks at him. The horses are going crazy. And they start, like, the horses really start going crazy. Like, they're getting loose. The priest tries to calm them down. Next page. Gus says, "Stupid girl, don't get out of the carriage." She says, "But and then we see a spear go through the girl, and everybody's watching in horror. And all right, so next page. So the priest calls out to his daughter, "Colette." Hold on, I also gotta ask the question: How can a priest have are priests allowed to have daughters, to have kids? I thought they're supposed to be like, I thought they were supposed to abstain from sex. Maybe that's just nuns. I don't know. I would think priests would be the same as well. But Adam says basically like a lore for the spirits. Pretty much, right? Pretty much. Like, how do you live where it's like what if he like cut it off his neck, right? Like, what if he just kind of like slices? I mean, he might bleed to death if he goes too deep, but maybe because that branding does seem a little deep, right? But so I guess, what if he just like rebrand over it or something? Like, what if he just kind of like create some new scars so it just kind of mess up the brand and the symbol? Maybe that wouldn't even matter, because it's still there technically. So okay, we start seeing all these skeletons come out of the ground and out of the fog on the ground and everything. with swords and spears. Next page. Adam says that's a good question for this chapter. Honestly, why is that old guy with her? I don't know. I mean, he said it was his daughter. You know, I mean, like I said, you probably know this story a lot more than I do, or you do know the story more than I do. But he said it was his daughter. I think he said it was his daughter. I feel like he said, yeah, because he told Guts to stop. He told Gus to stop telling his daughter, like saying these things to his daughter or whatever. But it's like, bro, you're a priest. You're not supposed to have daughters. I think you're not supposed to have. I don't know. I don't know. So okay, the skeletons are awakening, and man, I don't know. Man, I'm tired, man. I didn't get much sleep last night, guys. I'm sorry. But all right, we see the skeletons walking towards the carriage. Puck says, "Yeah." I just picture like a little high pitched voice for him. You know what I'm saying? Gut says, looks like this must have been some old battlefield." And we see Guts kind of facing off against these skeletons with weapons, and he looks over his shoulder at the girl's laying dead body. Oh, I know her corpse is probably gonna wake up too. I know she's probably gonna get up too. Um, Next page, page. Right now we're on page 133. Guts kind of looks, and then the corpses start attacking Guts, and Guts like throws. Looks like he throws a bunch of little knives at them. Right? They kind of look like arrowheads almost, and the arrows like destroy the skulls of the skeletons, but I don't think that's gonna be enough to kill them. See how they're already dead. Oh. Next page. Puck says, "It's no use. You can't kill something that's already dead. We better get out of here." And Puck says, "If you want to go by yourself," or no, Gut says, "If you want to go by yourself." And then Gut says, or Puck says, "But why?" And he said, "It's pointless. There's too many. You're going to get killed." Gus says, "Comes with the territory." Oh, bro, bro. This man Gus just, hey, he a straight fighter, bro. My man's a straight G. He's a straight gangster. He like, hey, man, death. Gus is like, hey, death is just part of life, bro. He's like, look, I understand I could die. I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's weak people that worry about death, right? Adam says, "I agree." He says it's his daughter, but it's weird for the other priests. It's weird for the other priests in the series. They seem to not have kids, and then he does. That could be a clue. Yeah, I don't know, man. I haven't seen the other priests yet, so I couldn't talk much about it, right? Maybe maybe he had a kid before he became a priest, right? Because the girl seems kind of old, so the question is, when did this old man become a priest? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't know. Good question. Couldn't tell you. I don't have the answers, Sway. You know, I definitely don't have the answers. All right, so Puck. So next page, Puck's just Puck. Puck just looks on, and then Guts. Guts like reaches for his sword, pulls that bad boy out, and just swings and just obliterates. Like I want to say, he obliterates 2 skeletons in one swing, or nah, it's like 4 of them. He obliterates like 4 skeletons in one swing. Next page. All right, so we see like the skeletons, like the pieces of the skeletons fall apart, and we get like a little panel of Guts kind of holding the sword in this super badass way, and as those skeletons fall, we see that there still are other skeletons in the background. All right, so that was page 137. Next page 138. Guts is looking ready for a battle. He grabs his sword with 2 hands. We see all the skeletons kind of surrounding him. Even the skeletons that he destroyed, like it's like still moving, right? Like the limbs, like the arm is right by Guts's leg and it's still kind of being active, and the skull is like still somewhat alive, right? So the skeletons are charging towards Guts, and Guts is charging himself back at the skeletons, and he swings again, destroying another 3 skeletons. Next page. All right, so Guts is still destroying these skeletons, and they're still coming at him. One of them, like we see him destroy one, but the rest of the skeleton's body is still like standing firm. Next page. Gus says, "Ah!" And Gus just goes to town on these skeletons. He's just going to town on them, and it's just like more of them just coming out the woodwork, bro. This hey, I ain't gonna lie. I kind of gotta agree with Puck on this. This is not a this is not a sound strategy. It's not a sound strategy to be taking on all these zombie skeletons. Like they just keep coming, like, and you can't even kill them. But I guess you can incapacitate them to make them to where they can't fight. Even though they don't die, you can make them to where they can't fight. So, I mean, that's a victory right there, I guess. It's kind of like Hidan from Naruto, right? With what's his name? Shukimaru, when he fought Hidan, and he couldn't kill him, but he pretty much threw his body. He threw like his head in under the ground, and he buried him. So, he made him where he couldn't fight, even though he couldn't kill him. You don't always have to be able to kill. You just gotta make it to where they can't fight. All right, so we see Puck in the carriage looking at Guts go to town on these zombies. Next page. Puck says, "Wow. It doesn't matter if his opponents are living or dead." And then the carriage shakes. He says, "Whoa, eek." And Puck says, "What happened, old man?" And then he looks and he says, "Ah." And then next page, we hear Puck screaming out the Guts in the carriage. He says, "Wow, Guts." And Guts says, "Shut up. Can't you see I'm busy?" Guts look and he sees the old man's head, or he sees like blood dripping, right? And then he sees the old man's head separated from his body. And that was page 143. We're on page 144 now. And we get a look at what we see the girl's body, the daughter, Colette, I think that's her name. Colette's body with what looks to be that knife that Guts used on that incubus earlier, right? Pretty much holding the knife in her left hand and holding her father's head in the right. And she smiles. She has like a sinister smile. And Guts is looking shocked, where you can see kind of the zombies in the background. And or we're on page 145 right now. Guts is looking shocked with the zombies in the background. Puck looks shocked himself. And all you see is the head of this old man like bounce off the ground. And then Colette exits the carriage. Next page, 146. Now Colette has like an even bigger sword. And we see her facing off again. We see her facing off with Guts surrounded by zombies. And he's looking towards Colette. And Guts just look, right? So next page, we kind of see what looks to be like a flashback of like Guts remembering how this young woman gave him some of that wine. Like, cause we see her holding that's I don't think it's called a satchel. I forget. I don't know what do you call that thing where it's kind of like a flask, but is it like a otter? Like, I don't remember what it's called, but it's kind of like a flask, but it's not. You know, it's more like an old school type of flask. So Guts looks in shock and almost like you could tell he's probably a little upset, a little angry, right? You know, because he remembered the kindness of this young woman. It kind of shows that Guts ain't completely, he's not like completely cold-hearted. You know, he still has some humanity in him, right? He still has some humanity within him. At least that's how I see him. I don't want to jump the gun, getting the wrong idea here. You know, I don't want to jump the gun getting the wrong idea. Puck says, Guts? And then he just kind of looks. And he says, Guts! And the girl is like walking up to him. And she stabs Guts in the gut. She done gutted Guts, right? She stabbed Guts in the stomach. And it's kind of like Guts don't want to kill this young woman. It's you know, and then he looks down and he's looking down at this stabbing, right? But it doesn't seem like she really like cut too deep. So maybe she's kind of holding back. Maybe I don't know. Puck is kind of looking shocked with his hand over his face, and then Guts just swings and pretty much separate old girl's Colette's upper body from her lower body, right? With just one swing. And we look at the blood kind of like flying through the air, and we see Guts kind of looking away at why he's still kind of swinging. Like, kind of seem like Guts he doesn't want to see what he just did, right? He doesn't want to see, like, I feel as though Guts has some remorse, right? Like, he doesn't want to, I don't think he enjoys having to kill, like, people he may deem innocent. And this girl, she wasn't dead that long, right? Like he literally kind of had like he literally was interacting with her like probably a couple minutes ago. So probably not something he really wanted to do. All right, next page, page 150. Now we see all the zombies still continuing to moving on Guts, and Puck is there, watching. He says, "Oh, and then Guts kind of looks and says, "Huh?" He Guts grabs his neck and looks at the blood and says, "Huh?" And we see one of the zombies coming swinging at Guts like this, and Guts looks back in shock. But y'all know next page, y'all know Guts is going to react to that quick. Guts got them reflexes. And he pretty much destroys that zombie. And Guts like, ugh, and he pukes right in the middle of battle. And Puck says, "Watch out!" We see a spear head towards Guts, but Guts kind of like deflects the sword or the spear or arrow or whatever it is. He deflects it, so it avoids him. But now Guts is like still continue to throw up. I think. Oh yeah, we're on the next page. Sorry guys, I forgot to tell you. I think what it is, that sword might have had some poison on it or something. Like I don't know. Like he might be poisoned. All right, so I'm trying to figure out which order am I supposed to be reading this. So he's puking and we still see the zombies coming in for attack. Puck says, "Guts." Bro, like I swear that's all Puck says is Guts. That's all he says. Like, come on, like give me a little different dialogue, man. Something, you know what I mean? And one of the spears barely grazes Guts. Barely misses him. And Guts is able to avoid that spear attack from one of the zombies. But next page, Guts gets right back up, like kind of like painting, like cause you know how you are after you puke, right? After you puke, so Puck looks, Guts it's kind of hard because this is like action, so I'm just sitting here trying to explain what's going on, but every page almost sounds like every other page. So Guts clutches his sword and he screams, "Yeah!" Next page, and Guts just going berserk mode, and he's just swiping and swinging into this crowd of zombies. Look kind of like a cover spread almost. Next page. So the sun is finally rising, and we see Puck on the tree crying, right? He's crying, looking at Guts, who finally finished off all these zombies, and he's leaning on his sword. Next page. All right, so we see like Guts leaning onto a sword. I mean, this man has been fighting continually. He hardly had any chance to rest. That's why I think you gotta have somebody like Puck on your side, man, because it's like he can heal you, especially the fact that these evil spirits are coming non-stop. So it would be beneficial to have somebody like Puck there to heal you each time, right? All right. So Guts is looking, like, bro, Guts been through the ringer, man. Guts been through the ringer. So we see the little evil spirits rising outside of these zombie skeletal corpses, right? And they kind of like pretty much like we see them rise to the trees, and Guts is still leaning on his sword, and Puck pretty much approaches him and he says, "I guess it's all over." Guts looks out towards his remains, or he pretty much looks out towards where the body of this little girl was. And, we get a close up. And, he just looks. And Puck also looks. So that was page 158. Now we're on page 159. And Puck says, "It wasn't your fault." Guts kind of just looks down. And then he raises his head and he starts laughing. Ha 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 ha. And he says, and Puck looks kind of shocked. He says, "Ha ha, yeah, that's true. You're absolutely right." I mean, I guess that's the best way to cope, right? That's the best way to cope. Next page, Guts says, "Look, I said anyone who gets killed because they got caught up in someone else's fight is a small fry." If they can't live their life freely, they're better off dead. He says, "Those two didn't have the strength to protect themselves from a walking disaster like me. That's all there is to it." You know what I kind of, or let me finish this page and then I'm continue. He says, "If you're always worried about crushing the ants beneath you, you won't be able to walk." I mean, that's good. I can't disagree with the logic, right? Can't disagree with the logic. But I kind of think this really had to come out of coping, right? You know what I'm saying? When you live the type of life of him, when you always have like these evil spirits just coming after you, it's nonstop. It's like you have to cope somehow, right? You have to cope somehow. All the violence that Guts probably seen, all the people that died around him, it's a mindset that I'm pretty sure he created in order to cope. I don't think Guts really want people to die. I don't think that's who he is. I just think it's more of a like he I mean, it's a lot of times it's not his fault, right? Because the spirits are just after him. So he even warned those people. He like, "Hey, bro, like y'all don't want to be around me. I'm avoiding you guys for y'all safety." But the priest was like, "Nah, man, come on. I don't accept that. Just get in the cart." He's like, I'm telling you this now. Evil spirits are after me." But the guy didn't want to believe him. So, he warned him. He warned him, and then that happened. So, Guts does try to protect people. But the way he protects them is by staying away from them. All right, so that was page 160. We're on page 161. All right, so we see Puck. Puck just sitting there looking at him. And then we kind of get like a view of Guts from the trees. And then Guts and Puck both looks up. I guess they hear something, right? They hear something going on in the the treetops, the canopy. And then Puck says, what's that? And then we hear the spirit saying, it's useless. You cannot run from us. He. Wherever you go, we will find you. Why? Or we are always watching you. We are always watching you. You belong to me. You are ours. Your blood, your flesh, your bones, your ears, your eyes, and your heart. We want your heart. So it's these evil spirits pretty much talking to Guts. Next page 162. And he says, so long as you have that brand, and he says, shut up. Yes, so long as you have that brand, you cannot run from us. Wherever you are, you belong to us. Your anger, your sadness, your pain. Guts says, shut up. And then he says, even your fear, all of them belong to us. And then Guts takes his hand, points it in the air. We see his little wrist cannon come up, and he just shoots his I'm pretty sure he's shooting his wrist cannon up at the air. And he says, shut up. And then he blasts, and we just see next page, we see the hand cannon go off up to the sky, and then he looks in disbelief. Next page. All right, so we get a shot of the trees, and then we see Guts kind of walk off with his cape swinging, and Puck says, Guts. Then he just looks. Next page 165. We get a shot of all the skeletal remains laying on the ground. And Puck is just looking at him, and he says, this is the world Guts lives in. So Puck is starting to kind of see why Guts may be a little bit of an asshole, right? He's starting to understand what Guts goes through, you know? And that maybe it's not necessarily Guts is just this asshole. Maybe it's because Guts been through some stuff. He's tormented, right? He's like tormented nonstop. Like that, bro, that's tough that's tough way to live, man. It's a tough way to live. Next page 166. We see Puck look towards Guts, and then he pretty much follows Guts. And then we get a shot of Guts walking down the path, and says the brand end. Man, so it's like we're getting more of an understanding of who Guts is and what he has to go through on a daily, and why he's an asshole, why he might have the warped sense of life compared to other people. You know what I'm saying? Why he tries to avoid people, why he doesn't want people close to him, you know? But yeah, man. I think that's pretty much where we're going to stop right there. Chapter 2. I would probably read chapter 3, but honestly, right now, I really don't have a lot of energy, guys. I'm sorry. I just don't know if I have the energy to read a whole nother chapter that's pretty much probably just as long as the chapter that we just read. I don't, you know what I mean? So we're going to save this. We're going to save chapter 3 for next week. I'm going to shoot for Tuesday. So if you guys want to read along, if you guys want to be here for another read along, definitely be here. We will continue chapter 3 on Tuesday. Joy Boy said, "What he is going through now is only the tip of the iceberg. Sheesh, just wait. I kind of already kind of have that, like, because I know some of the story elements, right? Don't go like don't go spoiling anything for me, but I do know some of the story elements, right? Like I know the character Griffin, right? Like I know that him and Guts, I guess, were friends, but Griffin like betrayed him, So I kind of know that there's also that part, right? I don't know how or anything. So, but yeah, I'm just saying, just this tip of the iceberg. That's pretty intense, right? That's pretty intense to have to have demons or evil spirits always following you. Like, come on, like that's no way to live, man. Like, how do you sleep? How do you sleep? Like, I honestly low key think like when we was in the first chapter, right, and Guts was being tortured and he was in that dungeon being tortured. I feel as though that was kind of like a break for Gus. Like that was actually for him. That was probably like rest. That's wild. Like being tortured is probably like rest for you, or being like in some prison cell is rest. You know what I mean? I don't know, but we don't even know. I don't even know if like the evil spirits could actually get the Guts when he's like in prison being tortured, because we didn't see like any of the evil spirits that we've been seeing this chapter. We didn't see them like going through, or no, that's a lie. That's a lie, because I think there was one clip where we seen what looked to be like a incubus or something. It's the same incubus from this chapter. Maybe not the same one, but something similar to what we seen, to that incubus we seen in this chapter. We seen in the last chapter when he was in the prison laying down and he couldn't really move, and he was like, "Oh, like leave me alone" or whatever. And it looked kind of like a fetus or something. So yeah, like we seen that. So I guess they can still get to him. And they even said, it's like, bro, there's nowhere you could go where we can't get you, right? So I guess, he can't even get a break when he's in prison. But I was thinking maybe when he was in prison, that probably felt kind of like a break, when he was being tortured by that jailer. That probably was like easy work for him, like, okay, I'll take this any day over having to be out in the wild and having to survive with just random demons always running up on me. Like, I'm in this cell, I could kind of breathe a little bit even though I'm getting tortured. This is more of a breath of fresh air than being out there. Joy Boy said, "I'm so excited to see your reactions going forward." Uh, and then you said, "But yeah, the Guts torture scene reminds me of Killua when his nerd brother was torturing him." LMAO, just chill. Yeah, yeah. I think that was kind of like a break for Guts. But then even then it wasn't like a break he could really enjoy that long. Because that one guy, well, actually, what's his name broke him out of the prison. Puck broke him out of the prison with the keys, but Guts already knew that that the Snake Lord was after him. So he didn't really. Even if he would have stayed in the jail cell, the Snake Lord was still coming for him. So he didn't have that much time to sit there and enjoy his break anyway. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's pretty much the chapter, guys. Like I said, we will be doing another read through this Tuesday. I'm thinking we could do this 2 times a week, possibly. Because I know I normally do One Piece reaction streams, but I'm gonna probably just do less of them. And like I might do reaction streams on Mondays, and maybe Fridays or something, and then maybe this could change. This may change. I don't know. Maybe Tuesdays and Thursdays, or Tuesdays and either Tuesdays and Fridays or Thursdays. Definitely Tuesdays, but maybe Thursdays and Fridays. Maybe we'll do a read through as well. Maybe Tuesdays and Thursdays. That's kind of what I'm looking at. And then, but yeah, tomorrow, guys, tomorrow, same time as this stream was today, I will be streaming on Twitch, 12 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. That's my time, which I think is like 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will be streaming on Twitch tomorrow. We will be playing some Elden Ring. So guys, make sure you follow me on Twitch. That is important, especially if you want to stay updated. Especially if you want to catch these streams. Follow me on Twitch, because after the next One Piece chapter come out, I will not be streaming. Matter of fact, right before, like the last stream that I do before, the last YouTube stream I do will probably be that Friday before, next Friday, pretty much. Next Friday before the newest chapter of One Piece drop, because I will be starting my One Piece streaming journey, or just my live streaming journey on Twitch, like full on next Sunday when that One Piece chapter drops. So make sure you follow me on Twitch. But for everybody who, y'all don't really rock with Twitch, I will continue to drop content here on YouTube. They would just be more pre-recorded, edited, or edited versions of my streams on here on YouTube, right? So they'll be a lot shorter. So for people who may not have time to watch a 1 to 3 hour stream, I'll be posting much shorter versions of my stream here on YouTube. Or if you just can't make my streams, you can watch all the highlights here on YouTube. That's what the YouTube is going to be for. I don't know if I'm going to post every stream here on YouTube, but my One Piece streams and probably my Berserk read-throughs. So make sure you follow me on Twitch if you want to catch me live. All right, catch me live. But anyway, y'all, today I ain't gonna lie. Today I don't have a lot of energy, and I still gotta work out. I ain't gonna have energy for that, but I'm gonna still work out because that's what I do. Anyway, y'all, make sure you guys hit that like button. Also subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Discord. Also, if you're looking for a community to be a part of, go check out the One Piece Discord. I will be changing the name to that because I don't want to keep it so much in the box anymore to where it's just solely about One Piece. Like, that'll be the main stuff we talk about is One Piece, because I am a One Piece content creator, but I don't want the name to scare you guys off if you're not One Piece fans. So I will be changing that name soon. I'm just kind of trying to settle on a name and create a new like profile pic for it, right? But go join that Discord. I also had I don't promote this. I never promote this in none of my streams. I usually promote my One Piece Facebook group, but I do have an anime Facebook group as well. It's not in the description box, but I'll put it in the description box. So if you're on Facebook and you like join the anime groups, I have an anime group. I do have a One Piece anime group as well, but since this isn't about One Piece, I have an anime group. So it's called One Stop Anime. I'm gonna edit the description box and put that in there as well. So y'all go join that Facebook group as well. Anyway, y'all, that's all I really got for the stream. You know, it was good. You know, I'm enjoying the manga so far. I'm just kind of right now. There's a lot of setup, so I know we're probably not going to be in the real good stuff just yet. You know, so but guys, stick with me, and don't be afraid to don't be afraid to read along, man. Don't be afraid to read along. I'll eventually try to come up with a better way to keep you guys, I guess, informed of what pages I am. I try to let you guys know, but maybe I'll put like some type of counter in the like in there. But yeah, anyway, y'all, that's pretty much all I got. Right, that's the stream. That's the content. I am out of here. It's your boy Sean P. the Bluff God, and I'm out of here. Y'all have a good day, and you know, stay awesome. Peace.